presentation, exactly. So first off, welcome everyone. Well done to get here. It's a ridiculously complicated path. You say, I'm going to go to uni, and then in CDW, and then we send you to all these strange buildings and strange sites and strange forms and tick boxes and enrollments that make no sense whatsoever. And the degree is really, and the same with the games degree. We pull a whole bunch of things together to make a really good set of degrees for you, but it does mean that you end up just having to be quite fluid in terms of moving between buildings and moving between lecturers and moving around spaces. It has to do with being bespoke. To start with, we just want to let you know that you're all here because we saw something in you. We look at all the portfolios. We look at every single one, and we read your statements. And some of you were, well, I've only just discovered this, but I want to do it more than anything else in the world. And some of you are already exquisitely talented. There is a huge range of skills here. And there are going to be days coming up when you look at the people next to you and you say, and this is in games and in VEED, you're going to look at the person next to you and you're going to say, I'm a fraud. I don't belong here. All right. And I want you to tell that voice, be quiet, because we let you in. And those of you who really struggle in some things, those of you who are closer to the beginning of your journey, you're going to travel so far over 3 years. You're going to look back and go, whoa. And those of you who are already really good, your movement is going to be iterative. Anyone who does sport, you hit your plateau, you're as good as you get. And then to get better, so much work, takes forever. So you're all going to move at different paces, and you all have different strengths. And in one of the VEED topics, well, I won't do specific VEED until the head of VEED, El Jefe Grande, Jason Bevan, right? He's the head of, you'll have Jason, 3D and VFX, you'll have Jason quite a bit when you do 3D and VFX. So first off, just over the next couple of weeks, you're going to have doubts about all kinds of things. Be nice to yourself. And that's something I'd like you to do for all 3 years, thanks, or 4 years, or however long you're here, right? Have faith. We saw something in your portfolio. We read all your statements. You're here because we think you belong here. I'm Katie Kavanaugh. That's Shane Bevan. That's Jason Bevan.
Doesn't get confusing at all.
Yeah, that's, yeah. You can just call them.
There's an I and an A. Do not get that.
Nah, just call them both Bevan.
No. So the students asked us last year whether it was all right if they could call us the Bevs.
The Bevs is off the table, apparently. Those of you online.
Guess the answer to that was no.
No. All right. As Simon Scales, who's the director of CDW Studios, is always at these talks. In fact, you saw me shouting to him for help, like Obi-Wan earlier online. He's in Melbourne. He's really sorry he couldn't be here, but he will be at Thursday's orientation at CDW Studios. And he's with us silently on the side.
Messages from Simon always had lots of exclamation marks. He is a very excited.
Allow me to add one word to that. Hi, everyone. I'm in Melbourne setting up classrooms. It's awesome. Right? Awesome is the only Simon word missing from that sentence. All right. And then the two other names who are probably in the chat, you've got Jasmine and Zoe, who are just, Jasmine and Annie, who just help with lots and lots of the admin side of things, and whose names you're going to come across all the time.
The person whose name is Zoe said, oh, hi.
Yeah. Hi, Zoe. All right. All right. Now, I've just got a couple of quick questions for you. Are most of you enrolled in 4 topics in semester 1? Yeah? Good. How many of you aren't enrolled yet? This doesn't matter. This is just for my own logistics. Not to worry. We can chat. Yeah. Is good. All right. So basically, you've got 3 years in a degree, 4 topics per semester. And it's a little bit like a bingo card. You've got core topics. You've got options, and an option is where you have a list of topics to choose. And you've got an electives where it's, hey, if they'll let you in, you can take it. Right? So creative writing topic, as long as there's no prereq saying you have to have done other creative writing topics, you could take that. So have a little bit of a look at your the games topics. For those of you who are in BEAD, you might go, I want all the games topics for my elective. And those of you who are in games might go, you know what, I want to pick up a couple BEAD topics. So options, electives, core, you're going to have 4 per semester. Next semester, I haven't even put up the timetable for 1411 yet, but I think 20 of you have enrolled, so thank you for your faith. That second semester we can talk about a little bit further, but the main thing is that by next week, you're in 4 topics. You are allowed to move around a little bit in topics for 2 weeks. After that, you can't enroll, you can only drop, which kind of makes sense because we need to be able to start moving in our topics. And if people are still joining 4 weeks late, we can't move, right? So 2 weeks you've got to drop or change things around. Whatever you do, do not drop a core topic. If you drop, say, 1400 or boot camp or 1402, yeah. If you drop one of your cores, you're going to end up a year behind in your degree because, like Jenga blocks, they kind of build on top of one another. So if you're going, oh, I can't do 4, I need to go down to 3, talk to me, talk to Jason, talk to Shane. Just make sure you make an informed decision there. Yeah.
What if you move one of your semester 1 core topics to semester 2?
Ah, already the sophisticated and complex questions. What if you moved a core topic to number 2? Remember my bingo card? As long as there's another core topic that you can, right? As long as you've got your 4 and 4, you're fine. Like BEAD 1003 Essential Multimedia, that's on both semesters. Comms is on both semesters. Kriya is only on first semester.
Yeah, don't make the mistake of thinking everything's on both semesters. Definitely not. That's the topics that Katie just listed. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Be careful. Yep. And again, that's why I just get advice. So basically, I'm just saying if you're thinking of moving around, don't do it alone. Get a little bit of advice just because it's easy to make a bit of a mistake.
Joshua's asking, will you be able to do all of the optional topics by the end of the 3 years? No, because that's why they're options.
Yeah.
Right? If we just said, here's all of the optional topics, but you're going to take all of them anyway, that's not really an option, right? So yeah, there's too many.
It's a buffet, right? Delicious, delicious buffet. Just stand back, survey the buffet, and be tactical about what you're going to take. Make yourself a plan, right? And then you won't miss things by semesters, or you won't realize you've lost your chance to. And we're here to give you advice. It's fine. You'll have Shane and I for the beads, at least 1402, and game students will have Shane in 1004. You'll see us in lectures all the time in semester 1, right? We're happy to discuss this in class with you. So don't worry, but just make sure now you should be in 4 topics. The reason I've put a 3 here is that technically 3 topics can be full-time, but if you do 3 topics, you are adding semesters because you have to do 4 topics. Right? Does that make sense? So you're lengthening your degree, but sometimes people work or something and they can't. The full-time doesn't work.
If I can just quickly add as well, that a lot of you will have come into this room going, I know exactly what my pathway through my degree is going to be. And I'm going to be doing 3D the whole way. And then somewhere along the way, you're going to realize, actually, I really like VFX, or I really like character design. So this is why we don't make you sign up for everything on day 1 and lock it in.
Online,
This
can
is
you hear Shane? Or are you just hearing?
They were answering before, so
Okay.
I think they can hear me. So yeah, just realize that your plans may change along the way as you hit certain topics.
All right, Maddie, I'll talk to the Trinity students separately later, if that's okay. We'll talk. We can talk via email. All right. Another question to ask yourself is, do all your topics start with 1? And the reason I'm saying that, and you can see here, you've got VEAD. That means it's a VEAD topic. So that means it's us right? We're V really, aren't we? Yeah, we're V and CDW Studios. And basically, if it starts with 1, it's a first year topic. So if you've enrolled in anything that's say V 2004, it means you're in a second year topic, and you probably want to stick to first year topics right now. So just have a quick look and go, do they all start with 1 after the V or whatever the prefix is? Make sure that you know your FAN, which is how you log in. It's your initials and then 4 numbers, and you get a password. They would have just talked you through how to do that in orientation. You definitely want to activate that because you can't check your email or log in to do anything. So you want to sort that out. Your student card, that's going to have your student ID number on it. And we use that all the time. And your card allows you access to the computer labs and things like that. So make sure that you're on top of getting your password and your FAN and everything sorted, and make sure that you have your login information with you somewhere just so that you can log in when you're in class, because we'll tend to be in the online learning systems all the time, right? So make sure that you've got that sorted. You're going to need them.
Just a really quick addition to that as well. There's 2-factor authentication on everything. So as soon as you start, carry your phone with
Charged.
And here's my little tiny bit of advice. If you swap phones anytime during the semester, contact IDS straight away. They'll just reset that 2-factor authentication.
Too granular.
No. It's not too granular because some of you are going to turn up to the first session and you're not going to be able to even open the computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I know that is super granular, but just make sure that you carry your phones with you.
Yeah. So 2-factor authentication, it sends you a ding and you have to say yes before it'll let you in. Right. So just make sure phone charged with you. You know your login details. Yep.
And before you deactivate your phone and factory reset it, if you get a new one, make sure you transfer that. Otherwise, it's like a lengthy phone call.
That's what I'm saying. It is no longer a lengthy phone call because IDS gets this phone call all the time. Now they just go, okay, we'll fix it. Anyway, too granular.
So campuses and room numbers, finding your way. So you've got your timetable, right? So let's say that you're enrolled in CREA 1001, which I believe all of you are, right? And if you're not, you should come talk to us because you should be. This is only on in semester 1.
Can I ask, there's no judgment here, but who isn't already signed up for CREA 1001? Okay, Nick Prescott is going to be very happy that there is only a small amount of you because he's got a lot of students and he's had to open more workshops. So that's great. Thank you so much. I can now tell me he's only got just the last few.
So you look at the timetable and you go, oh, I got 3 options. I've got Adelaide CBD, I've got Bedford Park, and I've got online. And you will have picked one of these. So you just choose one. I'm online, or I'm at Bedford Park, or I'm in person. So you're all at Bedford Park. Those of you who are here, this is the Bedford Park campus. Those of you online, you're virtually here. It's a very 70s room, all brutalist architecture. Your living room's probably nicer. Drapes are 80s and fabulous. So let's look at this in-person Adelaide CBD, and let's see what we can tell about where it is. First thing I do, if I look here, I can see it starts with VIX. That means Victoria Square campus. We have a kind of a campus in Victoria Square. It's just a big tall building and we got a few floors in it. It's near the post office. So just look up marble building, modernist, unusually slightly convex front, but you won't be able to tell, but it's in all the modernist architecture tours anyways. You look there, you go, okay, I'm at Vic Square. And so make sure you get the building right. If you're doing an IT topic, it's probably going to start with Tons, which is Tonsley, which is just down off South Road. If it says CDW, 4th floor, the Meyer Center in the city. So there's these different locations. Online, it's out there. It's in space somewhere. Right? That's the easiest location. But, so you can see here the location. So just make sure that you sit down after today and you really map out, where am I going to be? Like at what times? Then the next thing is your room number, right? And again, you just probably want to write this down somewhere so that when you get there, you go, I'm looking for room 1 lecture theater. And of course, the first time you get there as you walk past the cafe, you're going to say, doesn't even say what floor it's on. So I can't tell you what floor it's on.
That's that one down the bottom, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon it's probably first floor, right? But so there's going to be this moment of confusion as you enter all these spaces for the first time. So I just want to tell you a couple of things here. First, really write it down somewhere so that when you're going up in the lift or whatever, you've got that piece of paper and you can find what room you're on, and it'll just help you remember if you write it down. It's easier than digitally. And then just come like 20 minutes early. And some of you were here an hour early. And it was great. We were all calm, and it's still screwed up, but we were calm, right? Because we were here early. It was just the tech that wasn't working. So give yourself time to get there. Remember, the city is parking, it's walking, it's trains, it's the fringe. It's all of its bicycles. It's all of those things. So be really nice to yourself in week 1 and just give yourself a ton of time to get there. The Meyer Center, there's only 2 lifts that go up to CDW to the 4th floor, and one of them's broken. Always. So that can add, you can get up there within 2 minutes, or you can wait for 10 minutes. So just give yourself that bit of time. If you do find yourself running late, we want you in the room. We want you there. If you have done your best to get there on time and you're still 45 minutes late, perhaps sobbing quietly, just come in. We want you there. So if you're late, don't sweat it. Just come in. It's fine. You won't be the only one. So today, look through your timetable, go, oh, I've got 1003 or comms and I'm at Bedford Park. Find the room, right? While you're here. Find the room. So
sorry, just adding, if you've got topics at Bedford Park and Tomsley, there's actually a loop bus that goes between Bedford Park and Tomsley. So for the game production students, you may have chosen one of the programming topics that is down the hill at Tomsley. But yeah, you just wait. Loop bus comes along, you pile in, and it just delivers you. So and there's timetables everywhere for the loop buses.
Right. So here I can see. These ones are all, it says Bedford Park, right? And here I can see all these rooms. So hub means it's humanities building. SLTH means South Lecture Theater. I think, is that law? Or Anchor Court?
Or
yeah.
Anchor Court. Yeah. Oh, that's that one that we went over and had a look at.
SSN is Social Sciences North, where we are now. LWCM is Law and Commerce. So just spend a minute. Write the stuff down. Everyone on campus, we're always happy to tell people how to get somewhere. Like there's no problems with that. But just make sure that you've got a rough sense of where you're going before you go to class.
And notice when Katie rolled over there, that's actually telling you exactly what that building is. So the website, much as we kind of have fun with how awful the website can be sometimes. Shh. Oh, yeah, we're being recorded. I never said that. It's also super useful. There is an app called Lost on Campus. You can get that app. My advice is it will get you places about 40% of the time, but it's better than nothing. It's not great though. So yeah, and there is a campus map on the website as well.
So give yourself time. Write it down. Just you can do a train between the city and here as well. There's a topic coordinator for every topic. So just then on CREA, when we look, the topic coordinator is Nick Prescott. So he's the one, if you have any questions about the topic, you email him. If we were to go to say 1400, the topic coordinator is me. And you just email the topic coordinator if you have questions about that topic. So have a little bit of a look, go down, you can see here, in person, Adelaide CBD. And then here we go, CDW, building CDW, 4th floor, Meyer Center. That's where it is. And you're gonna get in the elevator and there is no 4th floor button. It says office use only, and you go all Hogwarts and you press the office use only button. 4th floor, mysterious 4th floor. And be on the western side. You know, there's 2 sets of lifts in the Meyer Center. Yeah, be towards the ocean and closer to King William Street, for those of you who are local. Yes, make sure, because only those lifts go to the 4th floor. The other ones you paid for, it won't take you there. And then we have the whole floor. So once you're there, you're fine. But just be a little bit aware of the lifts. And 1400's a little bit complicated. This stuff we'll do the read-only talk on Thursday at CDW. That's when we'll get a little bit more granular about what does this mean and how does this work. Yeah.
I've noticed some of the courses, they say full next to it. Does that mean the class is full or?
All right. So some things say that things are full. So for example, if I was to go to B2003, and I go up here to the timetable, semester 1. So this is an example. See this? If you go to B2003, see how it's got S1 and S2? That's how you know if a topic is offered in semester 1 and semester 2. Right, that's how you, can you see that S there? Yep, that's how you know. All right, so timetable here, semester 1. Full. What that means is that I've just added more. Whoa, sorry, this must be semester 2 because that's way too many. Holy potato, Batman.
That's
all right.
Not right.
That's not. All right. So full just means the workshop can only hold 25 people because of the computers up here at Bedford Park. That means the 25 are in there. If you go to a topic and they're all full, you enroll anyways. And what will happen is another workshop will open because the students have enrolled in the topic. And we're sending a thing saying, too many students, you need to open another time. And we do that. So if you see a topic and everything's full and you want to do it, still enroll in the topic because that's the trigger to open another workshop.
Yeah, and also if you do sign up for a workshop that says that it's full, it will put you on a wait list. But once again, as Katie said, that will then trigger opening a new workshop. You have to be aware though that if you just stay on that wait list, doesn't mean you can just walk into that workshop at that time, because I've got a topic where at the moment I have 30 people on a wait list. If there's 3 people on a wait list, there's a chance you might get in the workshop. If there's 30 people on the wait list, no one's getting in. Right. So so just be aware of that. Don't just turn up. Try and make sure that you pick a time.
And the lesson here, and it's too late for all of you now, but is sign up early. Sign up early. If you sign up early, you get the time you want. And if you sign up late and like you can't help signing up late because you waited for orientation, which makes perfect sense. It just means that some of the times will be full, right? So for the next few years, sign up early to grab the time you want, especially if you work and there's some days you can't work. And just keep an eye on it as new workshops open. If one opens at a time you like better, you can move into it. No one's going to mind. 50 people are waitlisted for that time that you were in before. But if you sign up early, then you can get that time. All right. So know where you're going to go. Make sure, let's see, we're still on my first slide. Okay.
There's not many slides though. It's okay.
Right. So this is what I was talking about. You know, how do you know what room it is? We'll often say to look at the course rule. We might look at those in just a minute, but just want to spend a second on software and hardware because that is one of the #1 emails that we get.
Jason,
Can I just interrupt a minute? Sorry, Jake. I came to say hello today because Katie's running this session. I probably won't see you until semester 2, right? So I don't teach any topics in semester 1 for this cohort. I do teach. I'm a lecturer at the 3 in second semester, and I run a topic 1410, which you'll hear about on Thursday, when you go into the kind of the
Nitty-gritty.
streams and nitty-gritty. So I just came to say hello and welcome you all. Hope you have an amazing week, and I look forward to seeing you on campus the next 6 weeks or so. I'll be back in a moment. I'm running a wonderful festival today called Electric Dreams, and I just left 30 people in workout suits by the campus. So I need to go and sort them out.
Yeah, go and sort them out.
I'll see you later. Okay?
All right.
The power of online, I'm going to carry on listening to you. Thanks.
See ya.
Thanks, Jason.
Oh, it's so simple. To just say something, just to test if we're being watched. All right, here we go. Software, hardware. Okay, when you're here on the Bedford Park campus, we've got some pretty meaty computers that have the software that we'll be teaching in the class. So if you're doing some of the multimedia or the games topics or the VFX topics, you come in here to the computer lab. No worries, you got your monitors. They're beautiful. Software is there, all good. You all will get more or less 24-hour access to a couple smaller labs as well as a classroom. And they have the software mostly that we use, with a couple of small exceptions. The software is there. At CDW Studios, that's set up for laptops. We do expect students to have laptops. It's like when you're a chef, you've got your knives kit. It's your tools. In terms of your specs, what do you need? Well, the 3D and VFX students are probably going to have pretty meaty at-home computers. They won't be carrying around so much. The 2D students are probably fine with an iPad. It kind of depends which stream you're following in terms of the requirements of the tech.
All right, keep going.
Just put your finger up.
No. I was just gonna add. So when you're finished, I'll add. It's all good. Okay. Yeah, just iPad, great. Procreate. I use Procreate more than Photoshop now. I can guarantee that. I do lots of messing around with Nomad Sculpt instead of ZBrush. However, the sessions are going to be demoed in software, right? So if you're going to take a different avenue to get a project done, it's possible, but you just need to be careful that you at least tune in for how to do it in Photoshop, for instance. So Katie's going to demo a lot of stuff in Photoshop that you can do in Clip Studio or Procreate or GIMP or whatever, but we have to demo in something, right? So yeah, the Adobe Suite is high on our list.
But you can wait until you're about to start a section, like the week before. Find out what you need. Then if you're going to go for a free trial, do it from the project due date, right? Because that's when you're going to want access to the software. So work backwards from there, right? Not necessarily week one. And know that you have access to computers here all the time. So if your computer crashes, you can come up here and just get your work done in the lab. So, yeah. You can go Windows or Mac. They're fine. You can always run a virtual PC on a Mac.
There's a couple of pieces of software that work better on PC than Mac, and PC is probably just a little bit more flexible, but there's plenty of students who've got through the degree using a Mac. I guess the only thing to say is to get a Mac that is capable of doing some of the stuff that you'll be doing, it's going to be more expensive than getting a PC that doesn't. So just keep that in mind, that the specs are kind of weirdly, the expense goes up really fast with Mac. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And so we'll tend to do demos, your CDW Studios topics. The only one where you don't use a laptop is light drawing, because you've got charcoal and a big pad of paper. You're doing anatomy, old school, because you have to know anatomy, basically. But other than that, you're going to need your laptop. And again, just wait. First year, we know you're new to all of this. We're not expecting you to come in with everything like fully spec'd up and loaded. And just keep a notepad with you as well, because you can always come up here. You can watch the recording. Everything's recorded. You can always come up here and watch the recording and work with the recording.
Will the best part use drawing tablets? Will we need to bring our own ones to bed?
We have some drawing tablets. Weirdly, they tend to live in the cupboard because people tend to like their own tablets. So mostly people carry their own tablets. We do have some here. We've got stacks of them. It's fine. You just ask. We don't leave them on the computers because there's 24-hour access. All the pens go missing by accident. Yeah.
With like the different streams, like 2D and 3D and stuff, is that like, do you have to choose that, or is that like kind of within the core topics you choose that?
There's a very specific bead question. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, and I just want to quickly mention Flow and Canvas, and that's because some of you may have chosen already that you're going to do something online or you're going to do something face-to-face. Flow just stands for Flinders Learning Online, right? So when people talk about Flow, it's just Flinders Learning Online. And I'm sure they would have showed you how to find it. I always just find it by typing in flow.flinders.edu.au. And that's going to take you to this topic. Now, you may notice that most of the ones, oh, sorry, I'm in the future. All right, first off, when you email us, I may have a few topics here, right? So for the love of all that's good, include your topic code when you email us. I can't make VEED 1003 2 o'clock workshop this week. I'm sorry. Please do that.
Yeah, not go Shane, won't see you today, cheers.
Yeah, that's right. Toodles.
Yeah.
So
Quote,
yeah.
unquote from an email that I actually got last year.
Yeah. So please, for us, let us know which topic. Now, what you're going to find is we're transitioning this year between Moodle, which is this learning management system, and Canvas, which is another learning management system. And basically, at the top of Flow here, it says, can't find your topic. It may be in Canvas. I think I'm busy moving your topics into Canvas. You can't see them yet because I'm too scared to make them live because we're still moving everything over. I feel like it's a real commitment once I hit go live. You'll see them in a second. They do exist. But you see here, it says, check this list of topics in Canvas. Don't do that. There's no point in checking the list of this list. Hit the word Canvas. See how that's a separate link? Canvas, it may be in Canvas. Click Canvas. And you will see, if you're in VEED, well, you'll see VEED 1003, right? Multimedia Essentials, it's in there. If you're in semester 1, if you're in semester 2, you won't see that yet. And here's the ones that I still have to publish. So what you're going to find that's going to be a tiny bit confusing is that you, and believe me, we're going to find it even more confusing than you. We just have to ride this wild surf together. But work out, are your topics in Flow or are they in Canvas? And a lot of yours will be in Canvas. And one of the first things that you do is you click here and peak Flinders. All right. So here I've written lecture is on in week 1, attend in person or watch online. And here I've written workshops start in week 2, don't attend this week. So you're going to want to find all of your topics in Flow or Canvas and work out immediately, is it all starting in week 1 or is there a note saying something start in week 2? And the reason we do this is that if we're talking about all the assessment and everything in the lecture, then we want everyone to have seen that before anyone does a workshop. So we just all the CDW workshops start in week 1. All of them. But just hit your 4 topics and have a look at the information at the top, right? What does it say? If you were to hit, say, 1402 here, (1402) is going to say delivered live, Bedford Park. It's recorded, and it'll say here that everything's starting in week 1.
That's me.
That's true. And
For
I'm
those
your
people who
coordinator.
haven't put in it.
So just check all these and again, be comfortable. Is it on this week? Because there's nothing worse than struggling to get somewhere and then discovering it's not even on. So just have a quick look, find the topics and flow in Canvas. You should have 4. Point yourself with where they are. Have a quick look through them. No, we're still tweaking them. You know, we tweak them right up until the day that they start. It's just how it is. Because we change projects and we change dates. And so have a look through, knowing that it's not final yet, but it'll be final by the time you start in the class. Good. All right, I think that's probably all the basic stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So are there any questions on that basic stuff? Can you jump back into the Teams, Katie, and see if there's any questions? You've still got it open, just in another tab. On the
Oh,
top.
sorry, yeah.
Next one. Next one's got the. little
Yeah.
circle.
No, I'm just shutting these
Oh, okay.
because I don't need 10,000 tabs.
Okay, Jazz has been answering questions and then, thanks Jazz, you're awesome.
Yeah, almost all legally, officially, all the topics start next week. So everything will have something on next week. Lecture and workshop for a lot. Some will just be lecture. Yeah.
It starts on Monday, right?
If you have a topic on a Monday,
Yeah.
then it starts on Monday. Yes. Yep. But VEED students, we are going to get very, very granular on the Thursday at CDW Studios orientation. And we strongly recommend that you attend that because that's when you find your way around CDW Studios and you work out where the rooms are, and then you will have been to 2 of the campuses and you'll have a real sense of how it works. And then we can really answer questions about the content of the topics and the different streams. Yes.
Once you haven't booked any tickets for the orientation, you still go?
Jazz, if someone has an event brighted for the orientation, can they still come? Let's say yes.
Let's say it's better that you're there.
I'd say we want you there. I would say try to RSVP.
But Jazz is saying, can they?
Yeah, Jazz still wants you to register, so you should still be able to register.
Oh, it's a reminder that some people are closing by Monday.
Yeah, I don't think it closes. Jazz,
Yeah, she says from
from the O-Week planner, you can still register, right? So just register through the O-Week planner. Okay, so Shane's about to run off with the games people.
Are there games people here?
Yes, about 4.
Yes. Okay, awesome, good. Yeah, if you follow me, have you got any questions before we?
Any questions for Shane, any games people online? Because he's about to disappear and leave you behind.
I did have a question. Could I just have a quick brief of what the games one is? Because I have a friend who might be interested. Is there like something where I can look it up online?
Yeah, absolutely. It's called BCA Games Production. And what it is it's a course that's not just about games art, but games production as well, but a more artist-based degree rather than a programming-based degree. So down at Tonsley, they do a course called Game Development, and that's full-on programming. The people who are in the room here that put their hands up, say they're doing game production, are probably not wanting to be doing full-on programming. They want to be doing more art. So it's aimed more in that direction. However, in that degree, you can actually take some of the programming topics down at Tonsley.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
There
Get them
is-
to email me. You've got my email. Get them to email me if they need it.
In terms of pure art and concept art, there's a lot of games in VEED, right? And the VEED and the games topics.
You'll see.
You can cross them over and mix and match. So the games students won't be doing anatomy, but the VEED students will. But if that makes any sense. Great. I
Okay.
wish my screen was showing you yourselves again. It's just seemed a very skeptical. Don't worry, we know a lot of you want to do both things. These are 2 iterations of games. You'll see how they fit together.
And you can see that I'm involved in the topics all the way along. So,
Yeah, And I'm involved in the
Yeah,
games
okay.
all the way along.
So you'll see us constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, games folks, come this way. We'll just ask them kind of more games production. questions. Theme folks, I'll see you when I see you, which will be
1402
1402
lecture, week 1. Isn't it Monday? 9?
Monday at 9. You'll see Katie and I Monday at 9, because Katie's going to talk about Canvas, and then it'll be me for the rest of the semester. Okay.
So this thing here, this is what's called the course rule. Have you all seen? Anyways, it's super confusing. But this is kind of where you can see the topics that you have to do in the options. And we do kind of line up the option streams for you because somebody did mention the 3 streams, right? Now, if we go to it's a strikingly good looking person. So if you go to the CDW Studios website, so the VEEP degree, the games degree doesn't really cross over much with CDW Studios. It's more the IT topics here and the multimedia topics. CDW Studios is VEED. If you're in VEED, you will always have one thing called boot camp, and it always goes something 400, something 401, right? So first year, 1400, 1401, second year, 2400, 2401, third year, 3400, right? It all makes sense. Boot camp, 2 sessions a week. That's the one that's really confused you in your timetable that we'll talk to on Thursday. Yeah.
Would there be any chance that you could tell us what exactly is this boot camp?
Yes. Boot camp is your core skills. That's where you do your anatomy. That's where you painfully use perspective to draw an airplane. This is where you do spheres and shading. If you're 3D, this is where you do your hardcore modeling, right? It is boot camp by name, boot camp by nature. This is core art skills, and it's 2 3-hour sessions every week. They're long, but this is where you get your skill base. You got to do it, right? Boot camp. This is the skills that underlie the skills. This is the difference between you and AI. Is you can draw a sphere with a pencil, right? You can do it. You understand shading and lighting. So, and this first boot camp, you are going to cycle around because we want to give you a trial of a few different things. So you're going to do a few weeks of animation, a few weeks of 2D, and a few weeks of, I think, ZBrush anatomy. And a lot of you won't have done this before. We want you to try all the different streams before you focus. So one session will be that, and one session will be with Simon all year, and that's called professional practice, and that's a seminar. But we'll cover that in the timetable on Thursday, right? So boot camp, 2 sessions, 3 hours each, every week, all the way through the whole degree. Yeah? Yeah, don't choose your stream because we just need you to be equal numbers. We find it's easier to have the lecturer in one room and to circle you guys through in groups called yellow, green, blue, red, rather than have the lecturer move rooms. So that's why you've got those different colors. We just move you around. So it doesn't matter which group you're in for 1400, right? You're not specializing yet. You're all going to do the exact same thing. Yeah. And because also a lot of you haven't tried some of these things yet. You don't know if you like it or not because you haven't done it. Yep.
How do you change? Can you change the location of your website stuff? I think I wrote in the creative.
Yeah. Okay. The question is, I've enrolled in CREA 1001 Bedford Park, and I realize I've made a terrible, terrible mistake, and I want to attend online. Summarizing. So if you're going to do that, you go into the student system where you enrolled, and underneath enroll in topics, you'll see a tab that says unenroll. Unenroll, but before you do that, go to the timetable, see which classes have room in them, and know which one you're going to sign up for, and make sure it's not full.
I enrolled in for square one.
Yeah, unenroll and enroll online or at Bedford Park if you want. But check your times, right? You've got your timetable. Check your times, check your locations. But before you enroll in something else, if you've got 4, you have to unenroll to make space in your template to be able to enroll, right? But there's that moment of fear. which is why I want you to know what you're going to move into, so you do the whole process. Yes.
What if you know you won't be able to make a lecture every single week?
Okay, if you can't make a lecture every week and it's me or Shane, you're fine. It's recorded. We record everything. So, and also, some of you live in Gawler. And trains don't always run. It's just 1 hour at 9 a.m. on a Monday. We appreciate that. We need a few faces so that we can understand if what we're saying makes any sense or not.
It looks like with that one sentence.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's always better face to face, right? It's always better face to face. But if you can't make face to face, you can't make face to face, and you come online. Same for workshops. I mean, it's COVID. We're not going to say people have to be in a room. COVID's not gone. We're just all pretending it's gone, right? So if someone's sick, they have to be able to stay home because it's the right thing to do. And if you're up to it, you still attend class. So yeah, pretty well everything we do is hybrid, except for the figure drawing, because that's a live nude model in a room. There is nudity in this course. Sorry, parental advisor. Nudity. Live drawing. So here it's I've just gone to the CDW Studios site. It's just cdwstudios.com. And if you look up CDW Studios, you'll see it there. And if you look here, we do have the course guides are up here. I just saw them 1 second ago. Simon, meanwhile, in chat is like, so here, if I hit this little menu here, you can click on, say, degree or BCAV additional resources, right? Because this is a partnership. Flinders and CDW, BFF forever, right? Together. You have us both, all 3 years. And if you click here, see how there's the different streams, 2D stream, VFX stream, 3D stream, animation stream. What that is that this is where we have rough recommendations of options that we think you might like. And this is where you can lay out your 3-year path. Yeah. And this is where we just make little suggestions of we think that you might want to take this or this, right? So if you're doing this, you probably want to choose one of these options. So we do help you with that. And we'll show you this again on Thursday. Yeah?
Is CW like available online as well, or is it mainly like the bed stuff that like?
The question was, is it the CDW stuff that can be done, sorry, can the CDW stuff be done online, or is it just the Bedford stuff?
Yeah.
Both. You'll find that some of your instructors at CDW Studios are overseas because they live overseas. So it's online. And yeah, pretty well everything can be online or in person. But you just, if someone says you really need to fix that one and you're in the room and you can see them smiling, it's quite a different experience than if you just hear it, right? So I do recommend showing up because it just helps with understanding. Do you need this room?
No, we don't.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, we had some year 12.
Okay.
I'll come back in later. Or should just...
Yeah, we've probably got 5 more minutes, I reckon. Do you reckon? Because you're mostly coming Thursday, right? Now I've just given you enough information to make you realize how much you have to attend on Thursday. So just want to quickly show you a couple IMDb's of our grads, right? So Aaron may have worked on Elvis, Venom, right? Look at Wonder Woman. Nice. So he graduated, I don't know, maybe 28, whatever. Well, look at that. He graduated a while ago. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Deadpool. Sweet. This is how you, he must have graduated in 2015. So, judging by the looks of this. So he came out 7 years ago. Here's his list of films. I think Caroline was actually in the same year. I guess most recently she's worked on Dune, Lock and Key, Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance. It's pretty cool when you think of how many people who are in the credits are from Adelaide. We just bat way above our weight. And increasingly, so this morning, one of honor student from a couple of years ago just got hired from digital pixels or something like that in Sydney. And then one of our 3D riggers just got picked up by what a workshop for something. So it can happen. It happens more often than you think. But you got to do boot camp. Draw your stairs. Do your anatomy. And it's a long journey over this 3 years. We're going to ask you to work hard. But it's a journey. We do it together. And that's about it, I think. So if you want to kind of get inspired, if you just look up VeedShowcase.com, this is where we put up our graduate students. You'll know because you'll see maybe me or Shane up here. You'll know you're in the right place, right? With the logos. And this is last year's grads. So these are the people that you're just missing, and here's all their work. So if you just want to have a look through, this is everyone. This isn't not an edited highlights reel. This is everyone who's come through. So this year. So feel free to have a look through this if you're interested to see what you're learning, because the student showcase is a great place to see where people are by third year. And then of course there's also the honor showcase, which is right here, which is where people are when they get finished with honors. All right, we always think that the quality of our degree is judged by your work. The quality of your work is how good the degree is. Okay, Shane, no, Shane's gone. Simon, did you have anything to say? Or Jess?
Can you hear me in there?
Simon's gone blue. He might be trying to say something. All right.
Okay.
Good. All right. I think we're all to on. Yeah.
Do you have any information on like the vet pathway?
Information on the vet pathway. So
We're from coming
okay. Come to Thursday.
Yeah.
And we'll do a special little peel off for Trinity, for game art from TAFE, and for AIU.
Okay.
Pathway. Yep. We'll do a separate session for pathway students. Yeah. Perfect. Any other questions? Or let's call this closed. See you either online at 11 on Thursday or in person at CBW Studios, 4th floor, Meyer Center. Yep. Question? Sure. Okay, that's it. This session is closed. Thank you for bearing with all the technical issues. That is not a preview of coming attractions, I promise.
Yeah.